everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with a card that I've made for a coworker who is right now struggling and dealing with cancer. So I also started like a little knitting group where I work at, and I've gotten a bunch of women together who wanted to learn how to knit or who already knew how to knit, and we decided to each take and knit a strip. And then once everyone's strip was knitted, I sewed the strips together and we made him a blanket. So I wanted to attach a card along with the gift, and I have made him a previous card that I did once before. I don't think I did a video on it, but I wanted to add something along with the blanket. So our card today is from the Cutting Cafe, and we will be using the silhouette, of course. I will put a link to the file below in the description bar. So what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so we're going to bring up the supplies and get started making our card. Now this is a Cutting Cafe file, and I will put a link down in the description bar for the item number. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is, I've already actually done it, is I went ahead and scored my card over, and this card stock is some Recollections card stock. I use my We Are Memory Keeper scoreboard to score this, and I just want to make sure that I've got this really scored, so I'm just going to take my bone folder and it's down there. So now we've got that added. So the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do this now, is I'm going to add my inside sentiment that I've gone ahead and used the print and cut feature, and that's going to go right here. So I also want to ink my edges, so I'm going to go ahead and ink all of my edges and then come back once I've got all my edges inked. Okay everybody, so I am back and I've gone ahead and inked all my edges. I just think inking the edges just makes the card stand out just a little bit more. So the color that I use to ink the edges is the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and it is the Gathered Twigs. So now we can go ahead and get some tape on the back of here and add the inside sentiment. So now to make my inside sentiment, I did use the print and cut feature on my silhouette, and I also used a pattern. As you can see from the back, the card stock was this color, and I just added that in there. I actually thought that when I put this in the printer that I had cream color cardstock in there, when in actuality I had this color, but it still worked out. And you know how I don't like to waste paper, so I decided to go ahead and use this anyway for the inside sentiment. So now that we've got that added on there, we're going to now go ahead and continue adding on our pieces. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and put your next layer on, which would be this layer right here. Now you think that this needs to go on the outside or the inside, and then like so, which I guess you probably could do it that way, and then you could put this layer on top. But no, I don't think that's the way it's supposed to go. I do believe it's supposed to go like this. And then you'll add this layer on top. And then you'll fold your hands over like so, or like so. And then you can put your hands, your top layer on top of that. So in actuality, I probably should have cut this a different color, but we're going to go with this anyway. And we're going to lay this layer down here, and then we'll have this layer on top. And then we can take and fold our hands over like so. And then I'll have my layers here. So I'm going to look at this and see if this is what I really want. So this time you get to see me design a card on the fly, because when I was laying this out on my mat, I had an idea of what I wanted, but I'm now thinking that I want a different color for this piece. I probably should have cut that a different color. And I actually did have another piece of cardstock laid out, and I didn't use it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out something different, and I'm going to come back and we'll put this card together. Okay, everybody, so guess what? I decided to just keep the colors that I had because I just did not want to cut this again and print it out. I didn't want to waste a sheet of cardstock just to reprint this and recut it out. And actually, once I started putting it together, I actually liked the color that I came up with the first time. So we're just going to go with this and go ahead and use it. So as I said, you get to see me, what I go through, my thought process when I'm putting the card together. I actually sometimes don't know what color I'm going to use. So why don't we go ahead, and actually too, I had the hands folded the wrong way. They go, sorry, this way. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this today. So we're going to put our top layer on now, and I'm going to use the Tombow and the two-way zig pen when I do this. So we're going to get some tape on here, and then for the fingers we'll use the Tombow. I'm sorry, the two-way zig pen. And the other thing I could have done is I also could have used my Xyron machine and ran it through the Xyron. I want to make sure you get that on the right side there. So it's going to go on like so. And you're just going to line everything up and try to get it on there as evenly as you can. So we'll get some tape on the next one, and then we'll add this one to the other hand. And if you have a Xyron machine, you can go ahead and use that to put it on as well. So I'll make sure I got that two-way on there everywhere. And then we'll add this one as well. So now the next thing we'll need to do is we'll need to add our piece in here, because your hands are going to fold down like so, or you can have them fold this way. You have them fold whichever way you like. I think I'm going to do this way, and then that will go down in there. So we need to just add this to this piece of our card. Okay, so our hands are going to go up this way. I went back and looked at the diagram. I guess you could fold them the other way. It's up to you. But if you want your bottom sentiment to show up, I think this is the best way to do it. So we're going to get some tape along here, and we'll fold it like so. So let me get some tape on this piece, and I'm just going to use the Tombow for this. Since it's such a small piece, we don't really have to use the ATG gun. And we'll add that. And you want to kind of line it up in the center as much as you can. And then I'm going to press down. And then basically your hands fold over like so. Now if you want, you can tape these down, which I think I will do. That way they'll stay, or you can leave them that they open out. It's up to you how you want to do that. So the next thing we would do is just go ahead and add this to our card. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. And I am going to take the hands down as far as right here. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you want them to open out, you could have them open out, and then you could put something inside here if you like. That's up to you. I don't think I'm going to do that, but because like I said, I'm designing this card on the fly, I might just do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with this a little bit, and then I'm going to come back with the finished card along with the envelope. Okay, everybody, so I'm back with the finished card. So I ended up, like I said, keeping the colors that I had. And what I also did was I went ahead and for the strip piece that comes with the file, I used the print and cut and made up my own little pattern, digital paper that I had already, and I filled that in so that I could print and cut that. And then I just took some of the IROC tools, or IROCs, and put them along here. Instead of adding bling, I kind of added to make it look, the card look just a little bit more masculine. Of course, then again, you wouldn't have a heart on a ring finger, but anyway, so that piece does come with the file as well, and I took some glossy accents to make it pop a little bit. And then down here I've added some of the candies. Now for the hands, I did say that if you wanted, you could leave them where you didn't tape them down, and then if you wanted to be able to fold them out, you could use or put a sentiment inside so that when the hands are closed, then the person could open the hands out and read the sentiment that you have inside there. The only reason why I decided to tape mine down is this card is coming from some of the women in my knitting group at work, and I didn't want them to keep opening and closing the hands, and I was afraid that if they kept doing that, that the perforated edge here would rip and then the hands would come off. So I decided to tape mine down. You don't have to do that. If you want to leave them where it folds out, you can certainly go ahead and do that. And then I've already added the inside sentiment, so you know what that looks like. And then for my envelope, I actually had a pre-made envelope that I had used I was going to use for something else, and I ended up not using it. And it just so happens that the colors in the envelope match the card, so I decided to use this envelope. It is a little bit bigger than the actual size of the card, but that's okay. I went ahead and stamped out "Thinking of You" on this side of the envelope, and then in the inside I just put another sentiment: "You're never more than a thought away." So that's it, everybody. This is the finished card that I've made for my coworker who is struggling right now with cancer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.